Today, we're going to talk about a couple things that I love about my Honda Element and a couple things that I hate about my Honda Element. So one of the things I love about my Honda Element is the doors. These are clamshell doors. So they open this way and they open this way here. Now in the past, I've called these suicide doors. I've got absolutely roasted in the comments. So these are clamshell doors. And because these doors are so big, it makes it so easy to put things in, put things out. And the shape of the vehicle makes it so it's like a mini cargo van. So I can store a bunch of stuff inside. I can build out a little camper in the back. I absolutely love the door configuration of the Honda Element. So not only do I love the door configuration, but I love the seating configuration of the Honda Element. I have the optional Heroes Hot Rods swivel seat base, which allows the seat to swivel around like any RV would. So when we hop into the back here, I can have a passenger here, I can have someone here, we can all hang out on the inside, we can talk, we can play cards whenever I'm camping. This is an awesome upgrade with the Heroes Hot Rod swivel seats. In addition to allowing the front seats to swivel with that Heroes Hot Rods base, Honda has come with a bunch of configurations just with the seat itself. So you can fold the seat down to turn into a bed. These seats fold up off to the sides so you can have just empty cargo space. The seats are easily removable so you can take them in and out to have even more space. So all of the seat configuration options, I believe there's 64 just standard from Honda. And when you add in the swivel seat, it just adds a ton more options and a ton more utility to your Honda Element seat configurations. Now, if you look at the floor of the Honda Element, it's actually rubber. So let's get really close to that. So those are rubber floors, which makes it extremely easy to clean. Do not hose out your Honda Element. It'll cause a bunch of rust. But if you just wipe it down really easily, it makes it super easy to clean, especially when you're out doing camping and you're bringing in dirt and sand. I just absolutely love this car for hauling gear, for hauling dogs, and then also for bringing in any sort of gear that's like dirty or messy. Another cool feature about the Honda Element is that it has a tailgate. So just like you would find in like any sort of pickup truck, you have this tailgate here, which makes putting cargo in super easy. It also makes a great space to hang out in the back. So if you're just camping or if you're at the beach and you want to look out and just read a book or do whatever, this tailgate is freaking awesome. So I absolutely love that about my Honda Element. If you look up top here, you can see that the Honda has a moonroof, and that's super cool. So then when you're camping inside of the vehicle, you can just look up and do some stargazing while you're inside. Add in additional roof racks. You can see there, I've added a box and I've added a rooftop tent. So this Honda Element can actually sleep 4 people with minimal modifications. All you need is a roof rack and a tent and you're good to go. You can also get aftermarket roof racks, which make it a little bit more low profile. Now the Element has one deadly feature, and that's this little guy here, this little hook. So whenever you're getting in and out of the vehicle, you have to be extremely careful because you will constantly bump your head here. So if I'm walking in, boom, you hit your head. Definitely not comfortable. Do not recommend. It's very painful. So that's one of the things that I hate about my Honda Element is this little guy here. So one of the things you have to be extremely careful of when you're buying your first Honda Element is rust. So I have some surface level rust that needs addressing. It's not on anywhere that's structural, but it definitely does need to be addressed. And it's gonna depreciate the value of the car. Having rust on your Element can actually be a little bit dangerous, especially if you have it on the rear trailing arm. That's where it's super common to have rust on these Honda Elements. So make sure that if you're just buying a Honda Element that you inspect that first, because once it starts to rust, it's almost impossible to repair. And in most cases, it's best to just junk the vehicle rather than repairing it. Luckily, this is mostly on the surface area and not anywhere that's really structural. So I should be okay with this Honda Element here, but I need to get to it ASAP. Now, another thing that I hate about my Honda Element is the gas mileage. I mean, granted, it's shaped like a giant freaking box, and I have a bunch of things on top, which is going to cut into the gas mileage. Definitely better than most like big vans that you'll have out there, but the gas mileage still kind of sucks, and there's not much you can do about it because it's shaped like a giant toaster. So you take the good with the bad, right? Something else that I love about my Honda Element is the K24 engine. Super reliable. Honda made a million of them, maybe more than a million. They made a ton of these engines. They have 160 horsepower in this variation. It's extremely reliable. There's plenty of space to work on. If you want to add more power to it, you can definitely add more power to it. Parts are easy to get, and pretty much anybody can work on them. And plus it's a Honda, so it's super reliable. Besides the dreaded P2646 code, it's an oil VTEC solenoid, but it's a super common fix. And in the future, I think I'll make a video on explaining how to fix that. But besides that, this engine is freaking awesome and it does really well. Sure, it's not the fastest, but it gets the job done, absolutely. This is super specific to my Honda Element, but I absolutely love this cargo khaki color. They only made it in 1 year for the Honda Elements. I was lucky enough to get one. And I love the contrast from the plastic paneling to the painted panels, the metal panels. That's only available in the 03 to 05 years. Actually, it's also available in the 06 to 08 years as well. I really like that feature. It's kind of funky and it makes it stand out in the parking lot, makes it easy to find. So that's one thing I love about this one is the cargo khaki color. Love it. Thank you so much Bluetti for sponsoring today's video. They hooked it up with the AC180 and the Charger 1 battery bank. The AC180 is an 1800 watt unit and I use it to make things like coffee. I can use it to power blenders for my smoothie. I can use an induction stove. So it makes life living inside of my Element just so much easier. And what's really cool is that you can charge it many different ways. So you can charge it through solar, you can charge it at home, and if you combine it with the Charger 1, you can actually plug it into your car's battery. And with the Charger 1, you can actually charge this Bluetti from 0 to 100% in about 45 minutes. So you can take a small drive to a really cool campsite, and by the time you get there, this thing is fully powered up, which is awesome. A couple different power ports. So you have a USB-C, 4 USB-As, and you have 4 AC outlets to charge whatever you need to charge. Up top here, you actually have wireless charging for your phone, so you can simply set your phone here and it'll charge. Another really cool thing about the Bluetti power bank is that it's totally portable. So I can take this and, like, say if we wanted to move over to like a campsite over by the ocean, or if I want to cook near the water, I can take the Bluetti power bank with me wherever I go. In an emergency situation, this thing's really cool to have at home, so you can power your home. If there's a hurricane or any sort of natural disaster, you can use the Bluetti to power your home. Before you head on to your next road trip, make sure you add the Bluetti to your system, and I'll leave the links down below in the description so you guys can check it out. Another thing that I really like about the Honda Element is that it has an awesome community. There's a ton of aftermarket support. So there's people who make custom roof racks, there's Heroes Hot Rods who does the swivel seats, there's custom ladders, and there's a ton of extra goodies which you can add on to your Honda Element. People make lift kits, people make custom control arms. There's all sorts of things that you can get and add into the Honda Element. So there's a ton of aftermarket support. And in addition to that, there's a bunch of Honda Element enthusiasts all across the country if you're in the United States. These communities host meetups often. So there's meetups in the Pacific Northwest, there's meetups here in California, there's meetups in North Carolina. So there's a ton of Honda Element enthusiasts out there, and there's even people like me who create entire freaking YouTube channels about Honda Elements, and there's about 13,000 people who watch this channel, and you're one of those lucky few. So thank you so much for being here for that, and be sure to subscribe and join for more Honda Element content like this. Now, because the Honda Elements are getting more popular, one of the things that I hate about my Honda Element is that the prices are going up. So back when I bought my first Honda Element, I paid about $5,500 for it, and that was about 150,000 miles, 05 all-wheel drive version. And nowadays, those cars are going for a little bit more than that, maybe like $2,500, $8,500 where I'm from, and that was 6 years ago. and people are only getting more turned on to Honda Elements, and I feel like the prices are going to continue to go up. So unfortunately, we've all made the Honda Element a popular vehicle, and now the prices go up. So that's what you get. But if you're thinking about getting a Honda Element, don't sleep on it. I think the time is now, because later on they're just going to get more beat up, more used up, and there's going to be less of them on the market. And it's going to be just like the old Nissan 240s or Mazda Miatas, when you used to be able to buy them for like $2,500, and now the prices are 10 times that. I think another underrated feature that I love about my Honda Element is all the windows around, which gives you great visibility. These little windows here are awesome because they can just pop open and allow a little bit of air to flow through. Same thing with the rear moonroof. You can pop that open, allow some airflow that way. Really like all the windows because it makes you feel still connected to the elements. Unlike when you're in a cargo van and everything's kind of enclosed, this allows the space to be super open, but you can be very comfortable inside of the Element. So I absolutely love that feature about my Honda Element. If you happen to be a Honda Element owner, let us know down below in the comments one of your favorite features about the Honda Element. Another thing I love about my Honda Element is that there's a ton of storage spots. So we have a cup holder here, a little storage space up here. We have more storage on the driver's side. There's the same thing on the passenger side. Up here, there's a bunch of cubbies to put keys and lighters. If you have the LX model, you have a little cubby here and then another one down here. Storage up top here, storage on the passenger side. This thing's just loaded with storage. And if you have the EX model, you even have a little storage pocket up here, which is super nice. There are definitely more things that I love about my Honda Element than there is that I hate about my Honda Element. It gives me a ton of freedom. I get to go and explore a bunch of cool new places. It's not super off-road capable, but it's enough where I can take it onto some dirt roads and I can camp either outside of it or inside of it. So I definitely love this vehicle, and I know you guys do too. If you want to see more custom built Honda Elements, I'll leave a playlist at the end of this video, and it shows a bunch of tours I've done of other people's Honda Elements, and you can see their build outs and how creative people can get with their Honda Elements. So be sure to check that out at the end of this video. One more thing, don't leave yet. If you want to support this channel, check out our stickers. We have stickers available for all versions of the Honda Element now. We have sweatshirts, and then we also have our channel memberships, which give you exclusive access to members only videos. So be sure to check that out. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you next time. Peace.